Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello there, all you wisdom walkers. This is Jojo Maria and Sarama coming to you with my pre-show because as those of you who listen and know, I am broadcasting and live streaming at the same time. I call it broad streaming. Yeah. And my theme song is playing right now, which I love, love, love. And wow, I am so happy to be here with you today. There is so much energy that is happening, and it's just really, really, it's crazy energy, isn't it? And it's though I feel like, and I mentioned this before, baseball is saving my life. I went to a game yesterday and just was yelling and screaming my head off and jumping up and down and shaking my booty and having a good time. And boy, did I need that because it's been a lot of intense stuff. Hey, Sister Amina, love you. Greetings, she says, greetings, sending love and take the credit I deserve. Absolutely. Yes. I have a good show planned for you. I know the music is probably still going on full speed, so sorry for that. If I can find it. Where's my music? Oh, here it is. Sorry for that. Turn it down a little bit for you. But yeah, it's a time. It's a time that we're in. It's a powerful time, and it's going to be okay. It is definitely going to be okay. So anyway, I've got a great show planned for you tonight because it's really important. We talk about this pain body and how to manage it and keep it from taking us to places and spaces we don't want to be. So without further ado, I'm going to open up my broadcast mic and we're going to begin. Good evening and welcome to Wisdom Walk Talk here on my Black Hole Radio and my YouTube channel. And this is Jojo Maria and Saroma. So happy and grateful to be your host and guide. As always, I'm going to start off by honoring the ancestors. And I always remember my two teachers, Melidoma and Sobonfu Some. And want to ask you to join me and take a moment to open up to honoring your ancestors and to take a moment with me to call them into our energy because we need all the help we can get right now. And so call them out, call their names out. And here we go with the invocation. Creator, Mother, Father, God, Source, all the one, all that is. May the ancestors hear our prayers. Ancestors, we call out to you during this Nature Month, this midpoint of the third quarter of 2023, and ask you to guide us gently through the required adversity as healing and growth opportunities during this nature year. Enable us to express our grief unapologetically and to receive all the compassion, support, and encouragement that we need to keep moving forward. Continue to enable us to fully welcome and embrace this new age and new earth consciousness and guide us lovingly, happily, and more deeply into our personal renaissance. As we dare to live our new narratives, enable us to remember that these are divinely scripted for ourselves and for our world. And most importantly, continue to enable us to move forth from the dark ages of modernity by placing our heads below our hearts, valuing people over profits, and always choosing love over fear. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. Asheaho Asa Ashinga Bismillah. And so it is. Yes, yes, yes. So, good evening again, and welcome to Wisdom Walk Talk. August is the second and final nature month in this nature year of 2023. Tonight, I open the next cycle of the 5 collective commitments initiated at the beginning of the year, which are take credit, break away, open wide, bring balance, and be the change. This month, I will be spilling on take credit, this time from the perspective of our ability and willingness to take on full responsibility for maintaining our inner strength and courage, despite whatever shows up. So, first, I want to remind you, those of you who are listening to the broadcast live, that if you have a problem with your internet connection, you can just switch over to the phone. And that number is area code 563-999-3089. And for those of you that may have any comments for me or questions from the live broadcast, the best way to get a hold of me is through the YouTube channel or my Facebook page, which is Wisdom Walk Radio, my website, which is wisdomwalk2selfmastery.com. Also, I have a community page on Facebook, which is Wisdom Walk Community, which you're welcome to join. And of course, you can always leave comments in the description box below. A comment box below the YouTube video. Great. And before I go forward, I just want to share a couple of comments that came in. I've got Queen Juanita Roberson. Hey, Queen. She's amazing. And she wrote this wonderful book. And I'm going to be very soon being able to actually share more of myself and who I am through Miss Carmen Ray's Be Well magazine. And we're going to be doing a Be Well live session that will broadcast out, live stream out. And Juanita, you're going to be interviewed for sure, because her book is just wonderful. The Inner Ground Railroad is what it's about. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I think I have one more comment. Yeah, Ms. Cheryl Boyd, Queen Cheryl, thanks for bringing this information. Oh my God, you're so, so very welcome. My great pleasure. And so now I invite all of you to sit or lay back and join me for an exploration of the inner landscape, where we can go in and connect to our soul and our hearts, I should also include that, and discover that true treasure of being human. Absolutely, absolutely. So let's see what I got here for you. Yeah, this is just a reminder that my theme for the year is adversity as the engine of success. Opportunities to find deep power within ourselves come when life seems most challenging. Thank you for that, Joseph Campbell, because I wholeheartedly agree. Absolutely. And my theme for this month, again, is another cycling around to taking credit. And I'm going to come at it from a different angle for you, but I hope it'll be as helpful as the first one. Now, here's the overview for tonight. I'm going to give a nod to the February Take Credit message that I shared. Then we're going to go into accepting and managing the pain body. Then I'll give you, of course, a personal growth opportunity, 3 practical ways to put your pain body in check. My quote for tonight is from Eckhart Tolle, who coined that phrase so beautifully, the pain body. And he says, the pain body wants to survive just like every other entity in existence. And it can only survive if it gets you to unconsciously identify with it. Yeah, and this is from his book, The New Earth. If you haven't read it yet, and Earth and the Pain Body stuff is in chapter 5. Pain Body stuff's in my book in chapter 1. And if you haven't read The New Earth yet, I really highly, highly recommend it. It gives a beautiful perspective that we need. Absolutely. So in February, I did the first spill on this collective commitment of us taking credit, being able to really, really pat ourselves on the back for having come so far dealing with COVID and all of what came out in that whole process and all that's connected to it. And that if you're still alive, you're still here on the earth plane, yeah, it has purpose. You're here for a reason. Pat yourself on the back. Yeah. And so I encourage you to celebrate you, to really take time to do that, because when we don't do that, it's not a good day. And here are some reasons why I said it was important for us to be taking credit. But the one I want us to focus on, because all of them are important, surviving the opening of a new age, deepening our belief in our higher purpose, transcending distractions, but accepting new challenges from a growth mindset of self love versus self judgment and fear. Yeah. This is why we got to talk about the pain body tonight. God talked about the pain body tonight, because when the shift is happening, as the shift is happening, you are going to be pulled. You're going to be pulled. You're going to be tempted. There's the adversity is going to show up. And so it's easy for us to fall back into self judgment and fear. But we want to really have a growth mindset, right? We want to really be able to go forward understanding the truth of who we are, and also not being blocked. And the pain body can really, really block you. So, very quickly, what is a pain body? Pain body is any pain, emotionally, especially, that you experience as a child, can even have started in the womb, in your mama's womb, like mine. My mother was in all this grief and all this heartbrokenness, and I'm taking all that on. And so when you get exposed to this and you have not um, been able to have it acknowledged, you haven't been able to process it, and most importantly, you haven't been able to transform it. Yeah, then it stays with you, and it becomes another body that you are inhabiting. And it's called the shadow in archetypes. And what I like about what Eckhart Tolle did by calling it the pain body, it gives us a better way, kind of a more, yeah, even a more three-dimensional way to address this very metaphysical, type of thing. Because you can't see your pain body. Well, sometimes you can. Sometimes I see my pain body looking back at me in the mirror. I'm like, who is that? Where did you come from? And she'd be like, oh, girl, don't act like you don't know. So sometimes, yes, we can see it, but really it is this kind of non physical, energetic process that's going on. And so it's really important that we have a way to be able to have a consciousness about it. The other thing he says about the pain body, and I'll show you this on my next slide. Our pain body will invisibly and silently attract painful people, places, and situations into our lives in order to get what? Yeah, fed. It feeds on all types of drama and any situation where we experience, I'm sorry, and any situation or experience where we feel victimized, abused, disrespected, neglected, ignored, abandoned, disappointed, unappreciated, or taken advantage of. Yeah, that's pretty powerful. That's a lot, right? All that stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that happens to all of us. All of us. Here's Queen Amina saying, I feel the pull, the adversity. My pain body is fighting to hang on to old stuff. And I'm reminding myself of my truth and my ability to not over identify with it. I'm exhausted. Yeah, and that's good. You know, you're where you exhausted because that means you in the fight. You in the good fight. Yeah, and it really is exhausting because it wants to. It's clear it wants to live. It's very clear it wants to live. Pain body ain't no joke. Pain body ain't no joke. It is so clear it wants to live. And here's another slide. And if you've seen Jordan Peele's Us, you'll really appreciate this. The more the pain body is allowed to lord over our lives and attempt to satisfy its insatiable hunger, the harder and more disheartening it becomes to like and love ourselves. I'll repeat that. The more the pain body is allowed to lord over our lives, be in charge, and attempt to satisfy its insatiable, never ending hunger, the harder and the more disheartening, disappointing it becomes to like and love ourselves. No matter how dignified and together we may appear on the outside, oh, on the inside, we'll be a mess. We will be a mess. And that was my story. I put that in the book in chapter one because it's so important for us to realize how easy it is for us to be conditioned to, put on a different face to, people, especially in a work environment and also with our family. We will do that. And, it's, yeah, it's tough. And like, Amina said, and Queen Juanita's agreeing with her and saying, oh, yes, I get it. I get it. Yeah, because it's a battle. It's a fight. It wants to live. And so we want to understand that, like when, people ask you questions, so how are you? How you doing today? Here's the automatic response. I'm fine. Everything is fine. But inside you could be breaking up in a million pieces, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, here's the next slide for us. This one really important. All the guys that work with me, you all know this one really important. It is also important to know that any attempt to sedate or ignore our emotional pain is futile, useless. All forms of addictive behaviors, drugs, alcohol, indiscriminate sex, gambling, shopping, eating, etc., are evidence of a very active and hungry pain body. Just just sitting with that. Just sitting with that. Because this is the reason why, there is what we call relapse in recovery programming. This is why, even though very rationally, someone may say, this isn't good for me. I shouldn't be doing this. And you do it anyway. I had a huge shopping addiction, like huge. And Target was feeding my pain body. I'd go into Target and I wouldn't even have $100 to spend. And I'd come out and spent like 150. Oh yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So yeah, really, really important. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide from your pain body. So that's why it's important that we accept it. And listen, you ain't got to compare yourself to nobody else because just like we're all unique individuals, every pain body is unique, is individual, right? The only thing we need to understand that everybody has one. There is no one on this planet, nobody gets into the earth plane without having to take on a pain body. Why? Here's the good news. Adversity really is the engine of success. It's divinely designed for you to help you stretch, grow, and evolve out of the past, out of the beliefs, the conditionings that do not serve your higher purpose on the earth plane at this time. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, the pain body be like the trickster. And again, if you're a Marvel fan like me, you'll recognize Kong the Conqueror and Loki. Also, I found this great picture from like a card deck, the trickster, the Joker, you know. And this energetic will have us resisting change in our lives. Sometimes the change, it feels good. It's like I got a new job, I got a new home, I had a dream come true. That kind of change feels good. But a lot of time the change don't feel good. I lost my job. My dream didn't come true. I didn't get that money I thought was supposed to be coming in the mail. Yeah. Whatever. And when these kinds of things happen, the pain body just rubs its little hands together and says, "Oh, I got some food to eat right now." Because we go into a resistance when the change doesn't feel good or we don't understand it, right? You know, there's a lot of trauma going on, a lot of tragedy going on in the world today, a lot of things happening out of left field, And so that too feeds the pain body and our responses to it, our reactions to it. And we start to like lock down, hold down, Yeah. And the other big one it does, it makes us really believe the world is out to get us. Yeah. Yeah. That's that victim consciousness. We get thrown into that so easily. Yeah. Yeah. And, we're human, right? So when something happens that doesn't feel good, it's like it puts an imprint. It puts an imprint on us. And we start to then experience ourselves, experience others, and experience our environment based on that imprint of there's something wrong with you, the world is out to get you, you're not good, you never will be, blah, 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 blah. And Queen Amina says, thanks for these reminders to not feed the pain body. I'm feeling my vibe rising right now. Yes, yes, yes. Because when we can talk about it, when we can name it, that's why I'm so grateful to um, Eckhart Tolle for giving us that language, the pain body, right? Now we can start to work with it. And this is what our next part of the work is. First, we want to accept it. Now, to manage it, I'm going to give you three practical things that you can do on a daily basis that can help. And then I'm encouraging you too to also find some of your own ways that really help to do what? Yeah, like Amina said, raise that vibration, shift you out of the old belief that the world is out to get you, things never work out for me, I'll never, I won't, I can't, all of that kind of negative and fear-based energy. And again, I want to remind you, this is hard work. This is not easy, but the results, oh my God, they are splendid. They are really, really splendid. Yeah. So let me start with this first one. Choose to stay conscious. Choose to stay conscious. So, first thing in the morning and last thing at night, you can stop and ask yourself these three questions. How am I feeling? What am I thinking? And what am I believing about myself right now? Right now. Yeah. I give that to everybody I work with. And this is a very basic way to help raise your consciousness. Yeah. Queen Juanita says, listening to Unite is helping me. Thank you for that feedback. I'm humbled and grateful. Yes, yes, yes. 'Cause I know what it's like. I've been there. I've been there a lot. And this exercise really helped me because I was in such a state. I was in such a deep hole. I just couldn't believe or figure out how my situation of lack, my situation of overwhelm was going to change. But when I did this exercise, it really helped me be able to shift up my energy because I was saying, I'm not going to let that pain body run the show. I'm going to be conscious about it so that I can take back the wheel. I'm going to do it. So it's a really powerful exercise, and I highly recommend this one. Here's the next. Choose to stay in gratitude. Oh, I can't emphasize this enough. And here's how we stay in gratitude. When you first detect or uncover negativity and fear, interrupt it. Interrupt its growth by doing gratitude affirmations. And I really encourage you to speak it out loud. What are the three things you're grateful for right now? Right now. And I always start with God, thank you for breathing me. God is breathing me. I'm so grateful to you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. But there's so many things. And, even though the thing that you wanted didn't work out, your heart got broken, whatever, really think about all of these kind of really basic, lower timeline, 3D things that are required for you to be here and have this experience on earth where you can get to those happy endings, get to that joy in life. So the fact that you're being breathed, the fact that you can stand up, the fact that you have a friend that you can call, the fact that you can be conscious about the fact that you in pain right now. Yeah, that lets us know we're alive. That's what my mentor Janitha said to me recently. Yeah. And so, choose the gratitude, choose the gratitude. And if you have three, you write them down that work, write those down, and then use more, get more. I mean, sometimes I would just sit still and I would just cry and rock and just be saying, God, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful. And I do that as long as I needed to until I felt better. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then last but not least, one of my favorite ones, choose to forgive and release pain. Ask yourself who you are upset, angry, and resenting right now. Then do forgiveness practice to release their pain that you are carrying. People who are jealous of us and who, transfer that kind of pain, people who disappoint us, betray us. And, that's a sign of weakness when people do that. But that's, you've taken on their pain. That's why you feel bad. And I also want to just say rejection is protection. Uh, so the forgiveness is my God, my greater order and direction, whatever you call it. I ask and thank you for the grace of forgiveness and for releasing me from carrying this pain. Ashe, amen. Bismillah, whatever you say. And you do this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until, yeah, you feel that shift in your energy is more peaceful. That's really, really, really important. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Wonderful. Now, I hope this is helpful. I hope it continues to be helpful. And like I say, it's a practice, okay? Putting our pain body in check and keeping it in check. It really is a practice and it's a mindset, a growth mindset that you can have. It's no different than building up any muscle in your existence. It's consistency and believing that you can always stay in charge, not your pain body. There's stuff going on. There's more stuff that's going to be going on. There's a whole bunch of stuff between now and the end of the year. And so just know that everything that we've experienced so far, and you notice how it keeps pushing up, right? It's like more and then a little more, right? So we're really on this trajectory of getting to this higher level of consciousness. And like I said, your pain body, the things that it's holding are designed to really help you break through. So keep that in mind. Know that you're not being punished. This isn't because there's something wrong with you. No, this is your journey of success. This is how you will become the best version of yourself. Yeah. So here's my Sarah quote for you tonight. I think it's the same one I used last month because right now I think it's so important. Your body is a neon sign as to what is going on in your spirit and your emotions. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Mama Sarah, for that. Yeah, really, really important. Absolutely. So I've come to the close of what I wanted to share with you tonight. And as always, I want to sign off by first thanking my most wonderful, wonderful engineer, Miss Yvette Parker, and the entire Be Well Black Hole Radio family. And Y'all know I couldn't do this without you. I thank you for your consistency. I thank you for your belief and for your willingness to see this through. And be on this journey with me, because we taking orders from a higher place. Absolutely. Also want to shout out to all my regular listeners out there, to those of you who have wisdom walk with me and you know who you are, those of you who are wisdom walking with me and will be wisdom walking with me, to my family on both coasts, and of course, my wonderful families in the Midwest, like Amina and Juanita. Isn't that beautiful sound, that alliteration, Amina and Juanita, Amina and Juanita. Love it. To my spiritual kin everywhere, my transformational leadership colleagues, my medicine brothers and sisters around the world, and those who are listening or watching for the first time. Thank you. Big thank you. I couldn't do this without your support. And if you have a moment, please like my YouTube channel, leave me some comments, let me know if this is working for you. Now, I'll also be live streaming another astrology for self mastery. In fact, I'm going to do two more this month because we have Blue Moon this month. So we've got the first one that happened on the 1st of August. We get a new moon, I think it's on the 16th. And then we get another full moon in Pisces at the end of the month, which should be really powerful. I'll also post up my elemental wisdom for the month of August. Do that tomorrow. I'll live stream. And, my book is still very much around and happening. I got a slide here somewhere. Where are you, little book? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's quickly show my little book. Yeah. And like I said, I do talk about the pain body in chapter 1 because to me, it is an essential first step for anyone who is wisdom walking. You need to have a language so that you can stay conscious on your journey and not be defeated by it. This is what strengthens us internally and keeps us courageous, that we have a language now for what is going on. Absolutely. Absolutely. And last but not least, I want to thank my God, my ancestors, my spirit guides, loving entities, everything that walks with me, keeps my head to the sky, my feet to the ground, and my heart open to do this important work with and for all of you. So please, my darlings, have a really, really wonderful, we're in a water week. And it's all about releasing and finding your inner peace. Yeah, really important to do. Now, microorganisms don't go away. So even though we don't have the same outbreaks of COVID, it's still walking around. And there's reports coming out about the long-term impact that COVID is having on many people. You don't know until you get it that it's going to be long term. So why even try to get it? So again, I'm just encouraging you, especially if you're on airplanes and you're traveling around, wear your mask. Wear your mask. Keep your immune system strong. Don't put yourself into situations if you hear your ancestors or spirits saying, yeah, you shouldn't be going there. Leave that alone. Listen to that guidance. Really trust that guidance. And also, it's really important for you to understand that you do have a choice in keeping yourself healthy and strong. You are not a victim to microorganisms unless you want to be. I really, really believe that. Embrace science safety and not perceived safety. And most importantly, of course, do remember that you, my darlings, you are not disposable because you are divine. Thank you so, so very much. Thank you to Queen Amina. She says, thank you and lots of love to everyone. Ashe, ashe. And I'll see you very soon again. Bye bye now. Be well, be safe.